Hi, I'm David McCullough Cash. Um, Pretty much what these videos are about are just different business ideas I have, different business plans. Because I don't, although I don't have the money, whether it's through a loan or investors, to make my ideas a reality, I have pretty detailed, kind of informal business plans for just potential businesses or product improvements, different websites, etc. I have a YouTube channel, David McCullough Cash, on YouTube. Um, and there are some old videos I put up that are total have nothing to do with investing or business, but just ignore those. I'm trying to get the Google search results to portray me in the way I want to be uh, seen. So, um, I made a previous video, and I mentioned my Facebook is David Trump because I lost my login info, so I just used the name Trump. Um, Thought it would be a good idea, but I did have a Twitter page, and some of my older ideas are on there, and um, I wasn't getting the response from Twitter that I wanted, and I got a more feedback from Facebook. So I just thought, instead of just social networking, I would also use Facebook for promoting my different business ideas. And just the idea is, I come up with a business plan and then document it online. Investors see it, and I get paid eventually through like an honor system, just through or or people put money into my parents' business or whatever. Just I get more work, whatever it is, just um because you know there's a whole formal process for doing that, but I just think this is more efficient and it's easier for me to do it this way. Um because this stuff I'm talking about really is profitable, or it could be, with the right investors. So my old Twitter page was at Thought Unlimited, which is the at symbol and then thought and then unlimited minus without the e. So ITD. So I'm looking at my phone. Um, here's one idea. This I mentioned the HomeShare app, which is a social networking app that links users to like online meetups, similar to, like, I think it was meetup.com or something. But I mentioned this in a previous video. I don't want to go over it again. Well, I will. Okay, so anyway, so you drop your cat or dog off for a few hours to play with other cats or dogs that are personality matched and entertained. There could be music to entertain them. This might be the dumbest one, I don't know. But they would have special snacks for the pets. While a camera watches and records all the activities, so you can watch a video of the interaction, plus a vet or a vet trained homeowner monitors the interaction. So it would be like a play date for pets that is monitored by a camera to ensure the safety of all the pets. So like, I think pets, they like being at the vet. I noticed that my cat didn't want to leave the vet. He really liked it, and I think he liked being around all those other animals, other cats mostly. And so you might not want to mix cats and dogs, but you could have whatever. So, or whatever pet it is. And so I see all this stuff on Shark Tank, and I think my ideas are just as good as theirs. But I'm really talking about startup stuff, because real startups, companies, don't have any money. They're just ideas without any profit or any infrastructure. I don't have the ability to go build a factory to produce whatever it is. I talked about electronic prescription access and automated prescription dispensers. I don't have the ability to manufacture that stuff. So it's and that would be for the opioid crisis, for example, for people that need pain pills but they have problems regulating their use of the medication. Um, so and I don't even have names for this, because whoever invests in this stuff is going to name it. I mean, you could call this Pet Play, this other one, or Pet Date, PetDate.com, whatever. And well, this really that's more of a in the physical space where you actually the but like you go to uh just one the pet this pet service would be uh monitored by camera, and there would be someone to intervene if there was like a fight between the pets or something. And it would just be a fun time for your pet, and it would be a chance for them to interact with other animals. Um, uh, so, but like I said, and I can demonstrate that these are really my unique original ideas, just because of my experience with my cat at the vet and how he didn't want to leave. Um, so, and I have more ideas for pets that I'll mention in a minute that involve. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. Involve MP3 players, or that are that can be put on pets and preset with music that you pre-program. So your pet can, like your cat or your dog, most likely, and they would have to be special headphones that would fit into dogs or cats' ears. But I noticed also my cat really. I played music one time. I think I was playing rap music, Eminem or something, and he started like what looked like dancing or something, and so he really liked music. I noticed, and I thought, why not? You'd have to find the correct volume, because pets have uh, very good hearing, I think, but um, and it would be like you would have a rubber like band around their midsection with the MP3 player with headphones linked, or maybe wireless headphones. So just basically an MP3 player for a cat or a dog, and uh, and they could. Well, how would they change? Could they change the song? Maybe, I don't know. Probably it would just have to be music that was pre-programmed. But anyway, and oh yeah, Gary V is a big inspiration to me, because he talks about entrepreneurship. Gary Vaynerchuk, and he talks about his dad's wine business and how he got started selling wine, and then made all these investments in like Facebook and Twitter, and he's worth a lot of money now. But I listen to his podcast, so you should check that out. But anyway, and here's my here's my Twitter page. I took screenshots of it. I don't know how well you can see that, but it was a while ago, and you know, it takes a while for ideas to catch on, but I think the ideas are very powerful. And so, sometimes the founder of a company isn't going to be the CEO, and doesn't have the money to invest. I have bad credit. I'm not going to be able to get a loan. And I don't know what investors. This is me reaching out to investors with my business plans. So, and I mentioned this home share app again. This is, and I'm really excited about this potential business because it the idea is similar to Uber, and I'll just mention this again because you may not have seen my previous video. Uh, it's where users will share their house for a shared social experience where everybody pays to be there. Just like an Uber driver uses his car for transporting people, the your home is used as an entertainment venue, and that person gets paid, and each each client or user pays to be there, to meet up for an NFL game or a multiplayer gaming, uh, or to let pets interact. That's another thing you do. The pets, you could, if that individual pet play thing didn't work out, you could you could you could have pet meetups, because animals really like to be around other animals. Uh, so, I mean, not all. That sounds crazy. Okay, so uh, anyway, and by the way, I'm David McCullough Cash on YouTube. Please just search for it. Maybe somehow I'll get to the top of the search results and not be. But uh, I want people to be able to find me if they search any search engine for me, whether it's Bing or Google or Yahoo or DuckDuckGo or whatever. Um, or it was homeshare.com or homegroup.com. Different ideas for names. The name is just not as important as I mean, it is, but the investors would probably make that decision. So, so I've mentioned that, and I'm going through my old Twitter page. It's but the ideas have not been capitalized on yet. So still looking. There's a siren in the background. I guess that's an ambulance or a fire truck or something. Okay, here's another one. I had heard, I'm not sure about this one, but I had heard that NASA had a problem transporting like heavy equipment to the moon. So I envision, we've all been to like Six Flags or wherever, or whatever amusement park, and you've seen a roller coaster. Well, if they can put a roller coaster that high up in the air with just vertical beams that hold the tracks up, couldn't you do the same thing with a uh, a rail system to the moon to transport stuff? Because they were complaining. I follow NASA stuff, that they didn't have enough room in the rockets to transport all this everything, and they would have to keep using, and the jet and the rocket fuel is very expensive, and so it's hard to get equipment up to the moon with all the stuff they need to survive up there. So that's just an idea for, once again, you create a company, you build a rail system to the moon, or the other idea is like a space elevator, space platform type thing, where you just and yes, the moon. I realize the moon is in orbit and moves around in the sky, so the rail system would automatically follow the moon's orbit and adjust to it, or the platform, or whatever. And there's a place called the Catalyst Center for Business and Entrepreneurship that is near me in Huntsville, Alabama, where I live, on Sparkman, 515 Sparkman Drive Northwest. That's like a place where you go meet other entrepreneurs, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I need to go there, but maybe that's where I need to go to pitch my ideas to investors. But you can go there, I guess. Maybe. But yeah, then maybe that's the way to do it. Another idea I had is to, because not everybody has internet access, but might be able to afford a one-time purchase of a laptop. Like me, for example, I got a laptop for Christmas, but I pay for internet on demand. Like every once in a while, I'll pay for a week or two of internet for school or for whatever. And but to pre-install websites into the laptop onto the hard drive. So, for example, you could pre-install a current snapshot of Wikipedia or your just whatever websites you selected. You could tell the company, build in this site or that site, and just the current snapshot, the current download of whatever that website is, even Facebook, but just everything up to that day. So all the history for Facebook, but I mean, it's just an idea. Maybe, I know they want you to pay for internet, but I mean, or you could build, and you could update it, like, I mean, whenever you could get to Wi-Fi, I guess, and it would just update to the current time for that. So that's, I don't know if that would appeal to Microsoft or Apple or Google. So this is another idea I have. Okay, and this is November 2020, just by the way. And there will be more. I will have more business ideas for you, really informal business plans for you to act on, and hopefully somehow you can pay me back, because we don't really have an exact way to do that yet, but that's okay. For now. Okay, so the next idea is combining private jet service with residential real estate ownership in other states in the U.S. where I live, or in other countries. So there's a lot of investors for homes, and they might, like my parents, and they own like 30 homes, but I thought about that, and this is how I demonstrate that this is actually my idea. And because of that, I thought, well, what if they own homes in another state or another country? And then I thought, well, if they did, they would need to fly there. But it might be cheaper, instead of taking a commercial flight, to take a private jet. And so you would sell private jet service to these real estate people, and they would fly them to different places to go look at real estate, to go check on their properties, etc. And I think that would be, if they've got the money to buy a bunch of houses, they've probably got the money to pay for a private jet. It would just be a private jet rental. They wouldn't buy the jet, but it'd be so take them anywhere. It would take them anywhere in the world to their properties, and just pay like a subscription service, whatever it is, $500, $300 a month. I don't know, just something to beat the price of the commercial airlines. Anyway, or you could have a commercial airline that gave. I don't know how that would work, but next thing, I should probably say the date I originally put these ideas out. I should have done that. Oh, the pet MP3 players was December 9th, 2019. I think this would be a great idea. They sell all these custom products for pets, even like CBD treats, like sweaters, like custom little clothes and stuff, like custom food for them, like gourmet food. Why not get your pet, if you really care about your pet? Well, maybe they want to listen to music. Just an idea. So still looking through my Twitter page, which was and there's you can't really see it, but okay, the next thing is, and this is bad for all the cosmetologists out there, but this was December. Wait a second, I think the dates may be wrong on this. Yeah, the dates are wrong, but it's still okay. So, Auto Stylist is an automated hairstyling solution complete with clippers and scissors, mounted on an existing chair in your house, or comes with its own chair that you sit in, operated by an electric motor. It's battery powered or plugged in. And so I just thought, all they're using are clippers, that are electric clippers, and scissors. So could I automate that process? So like when you walk into you could do this at existing hair salons, but I don't really see it happening. Why couldn't you just order one of these? It would come with a chair. So you sit in a chair, and it's got mounted overhead clippers and scissors, and then you program in the settings you want for your hair, and you tell the device, and maybe you also have an app on your cell phone that how to cut your hair, just like you tell the barber, the stylist. Okay, so looking through this. Okay, this idea I'm really excited about. And this says, I wrote this on April 25th. Not sure. Anyway, I'll read exactly what I wrote. I don't know. You'd have to. I don't know if you'd have to get like a mirror to like read this. I don't know how you would read that, but it's just showing it backwards. So a great startup company idea I had recently was an online college that is free until you graduate or obtain a certificate, and you pay them back automatically from your bank according to a signed agreement from from 10 to 25% of your income for your first year of employment. So it would be a website and also an app on your phone where all the classes are free. Okay? So to sign up for the class is free. And the problem with college is you never know if you're going to pass the class or not. You never know if you choose a major like, whatever it is, if you're going to finish. So people don't finish, they don't get the training they need, and then they don't get the job they need, so they lose their investment and have to pay back a big loan. This would sort of be like the loan on the back end of the side. This would be the payment. You would get the payment only if you got the training and received the certificate or the degree or whatever it is. And so, and in the same way as a loan, you would have, and it would only be if you were employed, if you found employment in that. It wouldn't necessarily like somehow related to that field. It wouldn't have to be exactly that, but you got employment somewhere after that, and like, so let's say you want to go to nursing school and you want to be a nurse. Instead, you take these free classes and you only have to pay if you finish the classes and you graduate and you get your whatever certificate. And so, but it also, you sign a contract where this website, where I would call it educationlink.com, freeeducation.com, whatever you want to call it. This site would extract the funds automatically from your bank account once you were employed, and there'd be a way to monitor that. And so yeah, that's the idea. It's just a different way to pay for school. Eduearn.com or edupay.com or schoolpay.com, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, they definitely would get the money back, because, as opposed to a loan, because they know you're working, you're making money because you got the training, so you pay them back 20% of your of your weekly paycheck, or 15%, or whatever it is. Another business idea, business plan, May 17th, is an AI app on your phone, again, that analyzes your voice using whatever technology, just pre-programmed technology that can detect your emotional and psychiatric state and detect problems. So you just, it asks you some questions. You talk into the microphone, and then this, because doctors do that. They so this idea here is is a little more controversial. And I'm going through my whole Twitter page, so I know it's already 30 minutes, but somebody will somebody will invest in one of these, I think, and the money will somehow get back to me. A startup company, this is May 5th. I think this is all 2019. A startup company, and here it's a picture of me. I sort of fluctuate in weight, so it's the same person, but there's so many pictures of me that look so different. But so a startup company idea I had is a medical cryostasis revival facility. Instead of being put in a cemetery after death, you would be frozen, not just for reanimation later, as you've heard of some of these sort of places, but I think there's one in Indiana, and like Ted Williams, the baseball player, was frozen. He's still frozen, but it's an option. You can, but it wouldn't just be to somehow revive you later, but it would be for unlimited medical techniques to be performed on you and other patients until they somehow revives you. Just like you do CPR on a patient in the hospital, doctors from all these universities and around the world could come to this place. You might have to do this overseas, but they would just keep you frozen and keep trying different techniques as they discovered them, and to try to revive you. Just kind of an experimental lab type thing. And people might think that's crazy, but I think it's crazy to just put a loved one in a wooden box and just expect that's the solution. I mean, when we have all this technology. So that's pretty much everything. One other thing that I noticed today when we were doing construction work, because that's my 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever, and currently I've had so many jobs, but being an entrepreneur, I thought, sort of an entrepreneur at heart, I thought that having a bunch of jobs would give me training and make me understand business. And so I've worked at McDonald's, I've worked at New York Life Insurance Company, I work at my parents' business, real estate business. I mean, I've worked at a bunch of places, KFC, Kmart. So I got a pretty well-rounded experience at places, so whenever I get to be in an industry, or I learn from that and can sometimes make observations that could improve those businesses. And so doing the construction work, I noticed two things. I think two improvements to the technology we're using, which is just power tools. But power tools are more complicated than you think. And Home Depot and Lowe's sell these, and their construction workers spend thousands of dollars on these things to do their work, because they're making more money using the tools. Nothing would get done without this stuff. You could just buy a hammer and nails, and it would take forever to do a project. But you buy a nail gun with a compressor and a hose, and you can do your job in a tenth of the time. So anyway, there would be a space for faster charging batteries, so that I just noticed that we were constantly having to recharge batteries for these power tools, mostly Ryobi power tools, if you've heard of those. I know a guy that worked for us used Milwaukee, and they all have batteries. And when the battery runs out of power, you got to plug it in and wait 30 minutes or 15 or 20, like a while, a significant amount of time. And while you could be working, you've got to recharge the battery. And they're kind of, I'm pretty sure they're expensive enough that you might not want to just buy extra ones. So if there was a company that could make faster charge, so faster charging batteries could be sold, and thus significantly faster charging, and that would speed up, that would cause workers to be more efficient. That's an okay idea, but this idea I think is even better, because obviously you want the batteries to recharge, but um, but today actually I was working, and there's the Sawzall, or I think, is it a reciprocating saw? It's a saw with like a long thin blade, and it cuts through wood. And when you're cutting like 2x4s or whatever piece of wood you're cutting, a lot of times you have a wall on the other side, like drywall so like you've got to cut the wood exactly at the right point, and if you go past that point, you will cut into the person's wall in their in whatever room, and they have to replace that entire drywall. Which leads me to another idea, which is great, because oh yeah, I forgot. This is the other. So let me get to this first. The electronic sensor. There's an electronic sensor on it, similar to like that beeps or a light flashes or or the tool vibrates to let you know when you're within like a half of an inch of the wall, so you don't cut the wood, because when you're cutting the wood, you can go into another piece of wood that you didn't mean to cut, and so it's just like a sensor, and it alerts you to when to stop cutting, because you just have to do it, it's kind of a guesswork. These two ideas are good because I just thought of this, but for my parents' business, we pull up carpet a lot at the rental properties, and the entire carpet has to be replaced. But a lot of times there's just like one or two stains on it, and the rest can be saved. So you just, similar to grass sod, which is square pieces of grass and dirt in like pallets that you lay out, it would be the same idea for carpet. And the customer could buy all these squares of carpet, and maybe you would, and they would, and it would look like a full carpet. It wouldn't look like squares of carpet the way it would be designed. It would be very easy to do that. But you wonder, like, why doesn't he do it? Because I don't have the factory to build all this. I can't, like I would. I know. It's just, but I have the ideas, and the other idea is for the drywall, because, which is just the stuff covering the wood. That's just your wall. Most walls are like that, or drywall. And it just, you put it. It's like a sheet, a big sheet, and you put it over like all the studs, all the wooden beams that on your walls. And so why not have squares in the same thing as the and this eliminates waste, and this is the same thing as the carpet squares, just squares of drywall of wall. So if a hole goes through the wall, I don't know. I don't know if that's as good as the carpet, but you could do that. You could put squares of drywall up one at a time. I mean, if there, I don't know how many times you would have holes in the wall. I think the carpet's probably a better idea, but yeah. Anyway, so that's everything, and I know this has been a 40-minute video, but uh, this is pretty much everything, a lot of stuff, and hope you watch my video. And look for David. I'm David McCullough Cash, and this is November 2020, and these are my latest ideas. Thanks.